Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I've been having these just crazy ass dreams. But the only thing I hate more than a restless night's sleep is someone telling me about their dreams. I find it to just be the most boring topic of conversation. My wife used to tell me about her dreams, but I think she knows. I think she knows better now. I'd be like, "How'd you sleep?" And she'll just say, "I had these crazy, horrible dreams." And instead of me saying, "Really, like, let me hear about them," I say, "I'm sorry." And that's it. Then I just walk away. Now, I love her. I love her dearly, but I can't do it. And I think she's accepted it. Weirdly, though, on the opposite side of things, if she's ever like, "I had a dream where you cheated on me," I get no details at all. I don't know who it's with. I don't know what happened. It's just silent anger for hours on end. But when someone talks about their dreams, I feel like it's almost like a toddler telling a story. You ever like notice this? It's like all of a sudden you're just like thrown into the middle of the story. You're trying to make sense of what the fuck is going on, but the toddler is just throwing out these random ass pieces of information at you, but nothing is really relevant to the last thing they said before. And it's just like you don't know what's useless information and what's vital and important to the story. It's also very similar to like an old person telling a story. That's what I feel like when someone tells me about their dreams. But needless to say, that's what I'll be talking about today. No, I won't. I promise I won't put you through that whole endeavor of what I'm seeing in my dreams. But I will talk about sleep though, because it is one thing in my life that I can't get a hold of right now. The recent daylight savings change up didn't really help either. It's dark as shit in the morning now. You just don't want to get up. And I'm a horrible light sleeper. And when we move in a few months, we plan on upgrading our bed to a bigger size, which I'm very excited about. But we've been putting it off just for so long and for so like no reason to. I just don't want the expense of buying a bed for no reason. But currently the dog sleeps in the bed with us. And at some point in the night, we end up like a capital H where we're on like both sides and he's kind of just horizontal. And I'm just straddling the edge of this bed. But yeah, I'm a very light sleeper. Any movement, any noise, it's like boom, instantly I'm up. But what I'm really jealous of is people who can sleep anywhere. Cars, planes, chair, anywhere. I would love to do that. I think this is a great skill. And I cannot do that for two reasons. One, I don't think I'm trusting enough to just comfortably fall asleep in a public place. Like letting yourself that off guard is kind of crazy to me. Like you don't know who the hell's lurking around. I'm just not that trusting of a person. And this is especially true for number two. I fall asleep with my mouth open. I don't know what it is. My jaw just falls open. I've tried many times to stop this. It bothers me more than I'd probably admit. It's got to be one of the most unattractive things a human can do, I think. And I'm so sad that I contribute to this plague of sleeping with your mouth open. And whenever I see someone in public, though, sleeping with their mouth open, I don't know what it is. I don't know what comes over me, but I just feel the urge to throw something into their mouth. Candy, gum, whatever. I don't care what it is. I want to take that shot. And that's horrible, right? It's not a good thing. No good comes out of it. It's embarrassing for the person. They could choke. You just look like an asshole for doing it because, you don't know what's going on in their lives, right? You don't know why they're sleeping, if they're extremely exhausted for some horrible reason that's affecting their sleep, or maybe they just have learned this special skill of sleeping anywhere and they're rubbing it in your face. You never know. So that's why you at least got to take the shot. No, but on a serious note, sometimes I feel like I have this weird guilt thing with sleep, like despite how healthy and positive it's supposed to be for you, like there's always something I feel like I should be doing oversleeping. I wake up and my first thought instantly is, like it's not to go back to sleep. It's don't be lazy. It's get up right now. What do you have to do today? If you do need to get up, like how much time do you have? And I rarely take naps either. I'm not really a big nap person because whenever I feel like that midday lull, my instinct is instantly like it's time to caffeinate. It's time to get some good stuff. It's time to power down and take a nap for a little bit. I'm always looking for that caffeine hit. Apparently, though, 1 in 3 Americans, I think it's about 84 million people do not regularly get the recommended amount of uninterrupted sleep that they need to protect their health. And in 2022, a study said only 32% of Americans said they have excellent or very good sleep. 35% described their sleep as good. And then it was 33% said their sleep was fair or poor. Now, that's the category that I think I'm falling in. We try to get good sleep. We really do. We put an effort into it. I mean, we go to bed at a very reasonable hour, but I think it's so restless for me. I'm constantly being woken up by movements or noises or phone notifications, or I'm being jolted awake by these crazy ass dreams. It's wild. You know, I heard in a podcast that Rick Rubin used to keep a dream journal, which is kind of crazy. He used to do it for years, I guess. And as soon as he woke up, he'd write his dreams down. And it was crucial, he said, that he had to do it right, like immediately right when he woke up. Otherwise, he'd forget them. But you know how like insanely just diligent that you'd have to be in order to do this? And the purpose was to track or notice certain themes and get in touch with your subconscious. But for me, that's a little too much to be tracking these dreams. And I forget a lot of my dreams. I only really remember them when I'm like waking up like mid-dream in the middle of the night and I'm like, wait, I've been in this dream before, you know, and that's the worst, when you know that you're going to fall back asleep, like right back where you left off in the dream. You're just trying to remember all the pieces and how it's going to play out. If I wake up from my alarm though, those dreams just instantly escape my memory for forever. I don't remember them. And it's crazy knowing that. It's crazy for me to think about people like Matthew McConaughey, who supposedly was driven to find out like the meaning of his wet dreams, which is even wilder. But obviously I can't speak to this firsthand. But in his book, Green Lights, he explains these big life-altering adventures that he goes on just to try to find the meaning of these, like a couple of dreams. And that's fucking crazy to me, man. Like, to be willing to just completely make these massive life changes just based on a dream. Like, I can't even remember mine after 10 minutes of waking up and someone's going out and changing their whole life because of them. But I don't know if I can really say that dreams really have any meaning. You know, that's just my opinion. I think you process so much information in a day, and I feel like dreams are just our way of just dumping all that residual shit out that's not important. Like, think about people when they sleep talk or sleepwalk. It's complete nonsense. It really is. Like, the sleepwalker is just aimlessly roaming around doing everyday shit like opening fridges or drawers, whatever it is. And the sleep talker is mainly, for the most part, what I've heard is just mumbling. Like, that's really all it is. And as a kid, I loved going on family vacations where you'd all get to sleep in the same hotel room. I remember hoping that I was not the one that was going to sleep talk tonight. Like, because the next morning you are just the breaking news around the breakfast table. You're just getting lit up with information about what you're doing in the middle of the night. And I don't want that attention. You know, that's not what I'm about. I remember one time we went to visit my grandparents in Idaho, and there was a part in the trip where my mom was going to take my sister to go visit some colleges, I think, in like the Pacific Northwest. And for like 1 to 2 days, I was going to be staying back alone with my grandparents who live in Idaho. And I must have been like 8th or 9th grade, but during this time, I was just a completely awkward, weird, quiet kid, right? I didn't want any attention, didn't want to rock the boat, didn't ask a lot of questions. I just wanted to do my time and get out of there smoothly, right? And on the night that they were gone, I'm alone at my grandparents' house. In the middle of nowhere, I'm awoken in a fright by these blaring sirens of an alarm system. And I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. And to my own disbelief, I am standing in the front of the garage door trying to leave the house. And my grandparents come rushing out thinking someone's breaking into the house. But I just remember being so confused until like we realized, and I must have, like, we all put it together, like I must have been sleepwalking here. And my subconscious was just like, get the fuck out of this house, man. This is crazy. You can't be here. And it was trying to leave. Like, it makes me wonder if I still sleepwalk though, because my wife is a really deep sleeper. I could jump on the bed and she wouldn't wake up. Literally this week, I woke up before her and took a shower, and it's approximately probably like 8 feet away from her side of the bed, the shower is. And when she woke up, she was like, wow, you already showered? I didn't even notice. And it's a loud shower, right? So based off that information, I could be walking around all night and I just don't know. But I am surprised, though, that you don't hear more about these like death by sleepwalking, right? I think it would be a pretty common thing. Walk into traffic, fall and hit your head, those type of deals. But I don't think that's really a bad way to go, honestly. You're still dying in your sleep peacefully. It's probably a little traumatic for everyone else if you're like, depending on, I guess, where you're found or what happens. But for you, it's not that bad. Death by sleepwalking could be a good way to go. You know what I'm really not looking forward to, though, is having a kid that wakes you up in the middle of the night. And I'm not talking like a baby age, right? That's anticipated. But I'm talking about like ages 4 to 7. Like, remember when you have to like wake up your parents in the middle of the night at that age because you had a bad dream or something? Like, that was just a crazy traumatic event in my household. You walk all quietly, like fucking tiptoeing on the carpet, trying to like contort your body through the cracked open door as to like not make a single creak in the door when it was being slid open. And then you like quietly like slunk up to the side of the bed and you give out like a gentle whisper of their name, but like it was too quiet, they couldn't hear you, they were in a deep sleep. So then you'd like upgrade to like the poking method, but it wasn't enough. So then eventually you're patting away, right? And then you're doing the pat whisper combo. You're like, hey, and then boom, all of a sudden they shoot up. They're like, what is it? And you just got so fucking shocked as to what just happened that you completely forgot the reason you were in there in the first place. Like, that was anxiety. Have you ever played the game Don't Wake Daddy, the board game? They got that feeling exactly right, where the guy just shoots up. Like, that's where my anxiety started, I think. And the same thing happened when you're like in high school too, right? You finally get your driver's license, you stay out late. And my mom was always like, hey, when you get back in, you need to wake me up and let me know that you're home. And I'd be like, are you sure? You sure you want me to do this? Because the same shit would happen just 10 years later. I'd creep in there, I'd be like, hey, I'm home. And boom, she'd just pop up. And she would ask for it. I don't know. But it was crazy. Those times were crazy, man. Having to do that, having to wake someone up mid-sleep was a wild ride. But yeah, I mean, sleep has been weird lately. I can't shake these just crazy reoccurring dreams that I keep having. Other than that, though, I guess, things have been pretty good. It was a good week. My dad invited us to Bruce Springsteen concert last night, which was kind of crazy. That was a sight to see. The average age group, I think, of this concert of 20,000 people was probably 65. And just seeing these old people just like let loose was almost more entertaining than the show, I think. Like, there were these two, there was a couple 2 rows in front of me, and they were probably 80 years old, just horrible skin damage. It was really bad. But they were just going after it, man. They were having a good time. And during the encore, he like turned all the house lights up, and you used to see thousands of these old, just wrinkly ass geriatric hands in the air, which was pretty funny. But overall, very good concert. For 75, this guy's still got it. But it's weird to see to watch all of this and to see how excited these old people were. Like, you're like, this guy was the guy. But it makes me think, like, who's going to be that at 75 for my generation? Like, I can't imagine Drake being up there dancing around at 75. But anyways, I need to go get some sleep. So I will talk to you next week. I appreciate you for listening. Hopefully you guys are getting a good night's sleep, because I don't know. If you have any dream recommendations, let me know. I'm not doing a dream journal, though. That seems too intense. But all right.